Hi there, YouTube. The title and thumbnail of this video should hint at what this is going to talk about. It's going to talk about the hardest ability you could have tried to farm for in PSO2. Now, it's a different story soon enough because you're going to get that extreme quest, especially over there in Global. But let me talk about a bit of history. To understand most of this, I would advise you to, one, watch the video that talks about Abduction over there, there. Look at that video and also watch the video where I explain about time attacks in the past, especially in episode 1 and 2, and then into episode 3. I do need to make one talk about 4 and 5 as well. But yes, it's a good chunk of history videos, but this will explain why Returner, also known as Veteran Resolve, is the hardest ability to go for. And it's been 8 years since they opened it up. The moment they did open it up and release it in Extreme Quest, I was baffled. Because it's been fucking 8 years. Now, for Global, it doesn't seem that much. Because one, you guys don't even have the 8 year span. And you guys covered a good chunk of it within less than a year. But the thing is, Veteran Resolve Returner was the hardest ability to go for. Because the only quest that allowed you to get it was through Abduction. And guess what? Abduction has a bunch of RNG behind it. So, this is the hardest ability to go for. And it wasn't modulators, it wasn't flints, it wasn't EV abilities, lesser abilities, it wasn't even crack abilities, or even the Guardians. Well, Guardian Souls don't drop naturally, but you could easily try to make one of those better than a fucking Returner. Because Returner's just... it was just behind that stupid Abduction. Like, if you did not get that right RNG to get abducted, you won't get a fucking Returner. I tried when I got back into the game to do a test run and try to record a bunch of data for how long it might take to get abducted and all that stuff. I was suffering in like 2 to 4 fucking hours. Just trying to spam this over and over again. I did it in different increments too. I think it was like 2 hours in one day, then 2 hours another day. No, this pissed me off greatly to the point where I just said, screw this, I am not farming Returner, it can go to fucking hell. Yes, it's also been 8 years. There was no other way. There's one other way for you to get Returner, and it was by mistake. Technically, there's 3 ways. So, this mistake I'll mention as point number 3. But the first way is to get abducted, and then complete it, and then when you beat up Hunar, and you are successful in beating up Hunar and escaping, you get a fixed drop. On a unit piece, that will give you Veteran Resolve. Could be a grade 1, could be a 3. Either way, you're getting a guaranteed drop. But it has to be on super hard and above. Second way is through the titles, because once you get abducted, the first time you get a Returner 3 4 slot as a reward. If you get abducted 10 times, you get a Returner 3 out of 5 slot as a reward. So that's the second method, through titles. The third way was by accident, and it was through the Japanese PSO2. In the unit NPC shop, you could get Returner 1s. You can buy them at a very cheap price. And this was by accident. Sega wasn't supposed to do this, and people caught on to these slight mistakes, and they started to buy bulks of these. Now, those individuals are lucky because Sega did not recommend them as much, if I remember correctly. They allowed them to keep the Returner 1s that they bought. And guess what? There was a huge influx of Returner 1s. That slowly diminished over the years. And that happened, I think, around episode 2, 3. But yeah, that was by accident. But people did jump on that, and people did get rich off of those. But that was the only time you find a Returner, especially Returner 1. After that, that was it. You had to farm him through Abduction, and this has been locked behind Abductions for roughly around 7 to 8 years. Yeah, 7 to 8 years, until they released the Extreme Quest. So, out of all the abilities that I ever tried to farm for, Returner was the rarest one of them all. Because I had shitty RNG rates when it comes to trying to get abducted. Not only that, I could not tolerate spamming a bunch of time attacks. I blew up. I just blew up. Sometimes a couple of my pals took me to Abduction, and I was like, fine, we're gonna suffer together, so be it. But in all honesty, I did not get as many of these, and I'm not a big fan of Abduction, especially if it has so much RNG behind it. So, Yes, Veteran Resolve Returner is the hardest ability to ever try to farm for in-game. It was easier for me to get a Guardian Soul, to make a Guardian Soul. It was easier for me to get all these other abilities. But a Returner was the worst one. But now it's easy because of Extreme Quest 4. So yeah, that's it for the brief history lesson. I just wanted to rant and bitch about this damn thing. Because it is 7 to 8 years where they didn't really open this up to the public until Extreme Quest. Anyways, if you have any question, comment, concerns, put it down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.